It's the last day of 2024, and I want to give 5 predictions for 2025 of what I honestly expect to happen. So, welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and let's get right into it. I don't want to make it longer than it needs to be, but I do really want to show you what I think is going to likely happen in next year. Now, these are 5 predictions. Let me tell you at least that some of these probably will be wrong. So next year, if one or two, or maybe all of them didn't play out, don't come at me like, you were so wrong, never listen to you again. Predictions are gonna be wrong, okay? Predictions are gonna be wrong. But there are some things that I actually expect in this market to happen. So let's get into the first one in no particular order. It's about a Bitcoin price prediction, about potential alt season, about a sector that is going to outperform. And the first one is actually, because I already have it right here on my screen, that is that launchpads are gonna outperform. Okay, so I talk about these kind of projects a lot, and I have a couple launchpads overlaid right here, which are ChainGPT, Seedify, Decubate, GameFi, and Polkastarter. And what I want to show you right here is actually this chart right here. This is altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. So this is the chart that shows Altseason or not, right? Now this chart is clearly showing that we are at a great opportunity every time we hit this trend line. It's right before alt season, and we just hit it. So what I want to show right here is in the last half a year, when altcoins slightly outperformed Bitcoin, you can see what happened to these launchpads. These launchpad tokens, they kept on going down. And that's so great about these launchpad tokens. They are lagging to the rest of the market. Therefore, it's the easiest buy, basically, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, again, you can see that this chart is going down. It bottomed, it went up, but only here, launchpads started to, collectively outperform, right? They went all up at the same point in September, give or take, while altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, they bottomed in June. Now, why is that a great trade? You can first see what the market does. People make money with the market, and then a couple months later, they put it into launchpads because they have made money and they want to gamble on new IDOs. Right? So therefore, I'm big on launchpads. It's very simple for people to say like, everything is moving, but launchpads aren't, right? They're dead. Well, actually, they always come a little later. In the next year, my prediction is that launchpads are going to outperform very hard, right? Not a little, but really very hard. And that's very simple. It's basically the same as saying that the market is going up. Because in a market that goes up, again, people want to trade on they gamble on new launches, right? And the way to do that is by sitting in IDOs with a refund policy, and you do that through a ChainGPT, a Seedify, a whatever. So therefore, it is basically, if we get a bull market next year, then launchpads are going to outperform really hard. So that's the first one. The second one, and I need to get rid of all of these first. Second one is that Bitcoin is going over $200,000. And I want to take a couple of these predictions and make them a little controversial, right? Otherwise, it's just boring. But I see a lot of people say that Bitcoin 120, maybe 150, 180. I'd say over 200K. And why do I say that, over 200K? Because I made a video about a Bitcoin price prediction. And that is basically using all the indicators and previous pieces of historical data that marked the Bitcoin top. And I've showed this in another video, so I'm not going to go over this, but some of these indicators, they show a 300, 400K result, 200, 170K to 40. The average of that is 383K. Now, let my analysis on this, or my analysis, let the average be way too high for some reason. Let's make it 200K. Easy, I would say. Bitcoin goes to 200K easy. And this is, again, if you haven't seen that video where I explained this, then this what I'm saying right now doesn't make a lot of sense to you. Like, what? Just 200K? Like, where are you getting that number from, right? Again, watch that video. But also the logarithmic regression shows that even if the market will end very early, like very early this time, which I don't expect, the upper band is now already sitting between 220 and 340K. And just keep in mind, it's just one indicator, but every bull market we went to that band, except for this one, but we came really close, right? And it's not even diminishing. Here we came really close to it, here we went in it, here we went in it, and here we touched the low side of it. So 200K Bitcoin is definitely on the table if you ask me. And I'm not even talking about all the narratives, but we have Trump. If it becomes a strategic reserve, if all the ETF money, it makes so much fucking sense if you look at the narratives as well, okay? And it's just a 2x from this point. Hey, Bitcoin doing a 2x in a post-halving year? I mean, it's like, yeah, name one where it didn't happen, right? Next one, Altseason is really gonna be confirmed for people in Q1. Right, so January, Feb, March. What do I mean with confirmed? Well, I can say that Altseason is going to start in Q1. Hey, for all we know, it already started, right? Altseason is where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. And if we take a look at this chart, altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, every time we hit this trend line, which happens to happen end of the halving year, right? End of 2016, end of 2020, end of 2024. Every time we did that, it got followed by a fat alt season. Okay. Now, we touched the trend line already in November. So it could be that alt season already started in November. But a lot of people, they look at the market and be like, where's alt season? They only believe that it is alt season, of course, once we are way up here, right? It doesn't mean that it's not an alt season here, right? If we go from this place to this place, yeah, where is it alt season, right? Oh, it started here and it ended here, right? So this whole area was alt season. Yeah, if you said it was alt season here, people wouldn't believe it anyway, right? And it's kind of the same right now. So I think that for a lot of people, it will be confirmed in the next quarter, right? There's no denying anymore. And one of the reasons, except for this cyclical chart right here, is another cyclical chart, and that's others' dominance. So altcoins dominance, how much they dominate compared to anything else in crypto, right? Because if altcoins dominate more against stables and Bitcoin and everything, then it's alt season, right? I've drawn this line a long time ago, and I will let it stay there, see how accurate this is going to play out. It's not a straight line up, but it's kind of the movement and the period, give or take, right? But what I find extra confirming is this. If you look at the quarterly chart, I've showed this a couple times before, but for the people that are newer on the channel, alt season, if you look at the quarterly charts, then the real outperformance happened Q1 2021 and Q1 2017. After that, we still got further alt seasons, but these were the biggest candles, right? So I'm not saying we will get such a big candle again, or maybe even such a big candle, but we do not need a lot for people to finally believe that it's alt season, right? We can take a look at all the charts and all the cyclical data, and that this time isn't different, this and that. People just want to see a green candle and then they believe it. Yeah. You want to buy before that happens, of course. So therefore, I do believe at Q1, a lot of people that now try to convince themselves that it's not going to happen this time, they will by then look at the market and be like, oh yeah, okay, alt season is here indeed. So that's in Q1, in my opinion. Also, another prediction. I think that the altcoin market, and when I talk about the altcoin market, I'm not talking about the total 3 because that includes stables and that's not going to go up. The altcoin market, everything outside of the top 10, I think that this is going to $3 trillion. It's now sitting at 340 billion. So it's not, again, that's from this point a 760% gain. Right? And guys, I want to make it clear. It sounds like a lot, which it is. But if you have been in alt seasons before, then you know that it's crazy out there, right? That in a crypto alt season bull market, valuations literally get off the charts. And I think that that's exactly what's going to happen next year. Now, again, this is based not on a wild number that I'm sucking out of my shoe right here. I made a couple videos where I made this prediction. I can buy a new phone with that money, hopefully. I made a couple videos where I made that prediction. So I won't repeat all of that. Go watch my previous videos, I would say. But I think that $3 trillion is very, very likely for the altcoin market. And hey, if it goes to 2.5, I was wrong. But does it really matter, right? There's being right and there's making money, right? It doesn't really matter for me. But I think that $3 trillion is very doable. And the next one, which is quite controversial, I'm going to get so much hate for this video. And the next one and the last one is that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin, right? Why did I pick this one? Just to fuck with people, because a lot of people, they now say that Ethereum is dead. And therefore, I love to tell you that Ethereum is going to outperform, right? Again, if you look at Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, it is going down, definitely, right? Like it should in this stage of the market. Then again, if you look from the top of the cycle till the lowest point, Ethereum went down with 64%. Well, you know, the last cycle, it went down with 89% and it wasn't dead. So if it is now dead, then how come that it's just down with 64%? Ethereum is not dead. Is it a fucking broken chain that's only for the whales? Yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't like using Ethereum. It's bad. But then again, it is where the money is. And that's what crypto is all about. Ethereum isn't dead. And Ethereum is going to outperform in 2025. Matter of fact, I think that if you take a look at this chart right here, that it could be pretty interesting. If you look at the monthly returns for Ethereum, right, for Ethereum, and you take a look at Ethereum in the post-halving years, right? So 2017 and 2021. 2017, it started off with 32% in January, 60% in February, and 193% in March. 2021, 87% in January, 14% in February, 25% in March. Right? Ethereum tends to, and then we have 50% here, and here we had another 50%. Ethereum tends to really outperform in the first quarter, at least, of the post-halving year. Right? And now there are a lot of reasons you can say to yourself, like, well, this time it's not going to happen. But if it was really that bad, then the chart wasn't holding up that good. Ethereum is holding up really, really, really good. So I think it's really going to outperform. So therefore, if you are somewhat of a Bitcoin maxi, if you're like, I do want some more risk, Ethereum has a lot of upside. It's like, but we are now at the stage of the market where people say that Ethereum is not going to do well and this and that and that. Yeah, Ethereum is looking better than a lot of great altcoins out there. So yeah, these are my 5 predictions. Now I can come up with a lot more. Let me know. Do you agree with them? I want to leave it here though. But I think that each and one of these predictions are very, very, very doable. If they're all going to happen together, hey, we will probably get something wrong. But again, that's not what crypto is about. Crypto is about investing, and you invest based on a certain expectation that you have. So I call this prediction, of course, so you click the video, but it's more an expectation than a prediction. And these are my expectations, right? Now, again, I know that there are a lot of people now looking at the market and they look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair and they be like, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, and it's not going to happen. That makes me way more confident that it's going to happen. Again, if altcoins are low on the Bitcoin pair, you are not getting the best feeling and the comfortable, most euphoric feeling and everybody being bullish. Otherwise, the chart wouldn't be that low, right? So be confident when everything is low, have a plan, trade that, and when it partly comes out, you can make a lot of money. So let's do that together, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on. Let me know what you think of this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And in the next year. Happy New Year.